How's it going, everybody? Jody in here, and I am back in Stormworks, the sandbox we all love to hate. No, actually, it's it's an extremely good sandbox game, but when it comes to physics, there's some shortcuts that they took that kind of break physics. So, let me take you into the workbench here. Let me tell you what I got in mind. So this right here is kind of a proof of concept model that I was working on. There's a few things I can clean up here. I can clean this up, this up, this up. I gotta leave this and these things. Okay, so let me just explain what I got here. This is a 4-cylinder diesel engine powering a generator. This generator keeps this battery topped up. When the battery gets down to 50%, the generator kicks on, brings it up to 80, shuts back off again. I could probably I should say I rather should bring it up to 100%, or at least close to, maybe like 95% before shutting down. That would probably be a better idea. In fact, I'm going to do that pretty much right away here. But looking at this build, over here we have the fuel tank. Okay, we have a fuel pump that goes up to their engine. We have venting so that no air goes to the engine, only fuel. We have a valve so we can shut off the fuel. On this side, we have our air input, which is just straight air in. We have a valve so we can shut that off as well. We have an exhaust pipe, straight up exhaust pipe. And we have a cooling system on the front here. A cooling system which actually needs water added to it, because it doesn't. I forgot to put water in it. So I need to just put jeepers. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat or something here. I'm going to put a tank on either side. I don't believe I need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Fluid tank. We'll put it on either side here. Just so we're sure we have water in the system. And we're going to make sure it's water too, because I think they start in diesel. Yeah. We want fresh water, full tanks. Hook them up. There we go. So we have water in our cooling system. Excuse me. I think the radiators have water to begin with. I could be wrong though, so I don't want to like just pretend that there's magical water in this cooling system. I want to make sure there actually is water. Okay. So on this side we have our this is our flywheel and our clutch, which goes to a gearbox and a generator, a large generator. And down here what I have is my controller for all of this. Now the controller is kind of a big deal because it makes everything happen. This is my controller to make all this happen. So I have a section here. This section controls when the engine starts and when it shuts off. This section here. Basically, when the engine starts is when the battery's at 50%. It'll send out a signal that says, hey, we're at 50%. This section down here is the air-fuel mixture. Or not the air-fuel mixture, it's the air-fuel valves. So when the engine is supposed to be on, the air-fuel valves are on. Over here, we have this section here which controls our temperature. This is our temperature controller, so we get the temperature from the engine. We read it in. If the temperature is higher than 82, we turn on the pumps. If the temperature is higher than 100, we turn on the fans. So we have two different systems. We have the pump system to pump the water around, pump the coolant through, and we have the fan system. So if it gets too hot, we turn the fans on. Just like your car. Your car has the same system. You might notice when your car is sitting there, if you just have your car running, and it's just sitting there, you don't hear any fans. You don't hear any fans running. And then all of a sudden, once your car is warmed up, you'll hear fans kick in. And what happens is, you have a thermostat in your car. Your car has a water pump. The water pump's always going, but that doesn't necessarily mean the water's going through the engine. What happens is when the coolant pump kicks in, or when the thermostat opens, I should say, water's suddenly allowed to go through the engine. And normally that is enough to keep your car cool because your radiators are outside. If you're driving, you have air blowing through them, and that keeps your engine cool. Just the natural air blowing through the radiator. Now what happens is on a hot day, or if you're just sitting there, air's not moving through your radiator, or the air that's moving through your radiator is hot, so you need to cool it down. So what happens is the cooling fans will kick in to give it that extra boost. And that's kind of what I set up here. Down here, this is our starter system right here. So basically, if the battery's too low and the engine's not spinning, we kick in the starter. And we kick in the starter for, as long as it takes till the engine starts. Down here, this is our clutch control. And this is the clutch to our generator. So we want to keep our RPMs high, so I'm actually going to up this to 58. Because our engine maxes out at 60. So we're going to keep that at 58. So if our RPM is below 58, it lets off the clutch. If our RPM is above 58, it engages the clutch. And it engages it at such a small increment that the engine doesn't even really notice until it gets to a certain point, which is close to 0.25. That's when it's like, oh, wait a minute. Actually, no. This number I don't need to raise. I actually need to lower this number, sorry. That needs to be more about 40. Yeah. Maybe? Well, we'll play around with it. But anyways. Down here, this is our air-to-fuel ratio. This is our throttle. So what this does is this says how fast do you want the engine going. It gets an input number. So down here I have a requested RPS. So I can actually request that the engine stay at idle. I can request that the engine go full throttle. I can request that. If there is no request, or I should say if the request is how does that work? Oh, if the request is greater than 1, then it takes the requested number. If the request is less than 1, which means I haven't set a requested number, it just goes to 59 and holds it there. Tries to hold it at 59. So it's going to go throttle to 59. Actually, that should be 60 because that's as fast as the engine goes. So we're going to hold the RPM at 60. Unless we say otherwise. And then it calculates the air-fuel ratio, which, for some reason in Stormworks, they like an air-fuel ratio of 50%. So 2 to 1. That's not a very good fuel ratio. If you're talking, real cars, that's not a very good fuel ratio, 2 to 1. So that's where Stormworks likes it. So we'll just say we're keeping it there. So I'll update this. I'll quickly show you. And then what we're going to try to do, we're going to see if this will scale. We're going to see if it'll scale up to the next size engine. Because different engines may have different RPM max limits. So we'll see if this controller will scale. If it won't scale, then we're going to have to make a new controller, or make another controller. So let's get into, we're going to save this as our engine test. Sorry. I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. I had quite the coughing fit before I started the video. So what's going to happen here is, let's request RPS. We want 60. Okay, so our battery's gone down below 50. Our motor's kicking in. See, she's going right up to 60. We're at full rip. See the clutch slowly starting to engage. can see the clutch pressure. The clutch pressure is actually the engagement of the clutch. So you can see our generator output's already at 500, 600, 700, and we're only at 0.2 of clutch engagement. Our electric battery for starting our vehicle's already maxed out. It's already full. So now you're going to see our flywheel start to slow down. You're going to see our clutch hit 25, and it's going to stop at 25. And you're going to see us at about 1820-ish on the generator end, and our power is going to be going up. You can see our generator, we are generating a decent amount of power. Now we've got our fluid tanks here. It is not running the fans yet. You can see the fans are turned off. You can see the pumps are off. The engine has not reached running temperature yet, so we're still gathering temperature. We're still gaining temperature here. So once it hits 80 degrees, that's when the pumps kick in. Just to get the, we call that the opening of the, that's the opening of the thermostat, so to speak. So 80, is it 80 or is it 80? It might be 83. 83 degrees, there it is. So the pumps are now kicked in. The pumps are moving water. This is still going to slowly climb. And then our, once we hit 100, that's where our fans are going to kick in. And that's not going to stop it. It's not going to stop the manifold temperature from rising. Oh, we hit battery charge. So that cuts everything. Our clutch pressure, when it cuts out, our clutch pressure maxes at 1. When our generator cuts out, it fires the clutch right to full power, which keeps our generator spinning. As long as the engine is spinning, our generator's spinning down. But what's going to happen is the engine is going to slow down faster than this can hit 80%. And the reason that happens is because if the engine doesn't slow down, when this hits 80% and it lets the clutch back off and opens the air fuel, the engine will fire back up again. So you actually need the engine to come to a stop before the battery goes down to 60% again. You can see it's at a stop. Otherwise it'll just fire it up again and keep on going. So you can see now it's below 80%. Air fuel should be open again. Yep. So air fuel is open again, but the engine is stopped. It's not running because the RPS is at 0. The RPS wasn't at 0, or if it wasn't, below, I think it's 3. I think 3 is where the startup is. So if the RPS wasn't below 3, it would just fire back up again and keep on going. So, this engine is just a concept engine, and it's designed for, of course, a diesel electric application, like a small boat or something like that, medium-sized boat, I should say. This is a medium engine. It's made to drive a generator. So what we're gonna do is try to upscale this. So let's resave this as a large engine control test, because right now I have it saved as a medium engine, so let's save it as a large engine control test. And by the way, I need to save this microcontroller, because I have it saved as custom generator controller, so I should save it as medium generator controller. So we'll save that as medium generator controller, because we might have to make some adjustments here. Update that. Okay, and then we'll go back into our microcontroller editor, go into our save, and we'll delete the custom generator controller. Okay. And while we're in here, we'll save this as the large generator controller. Because we might have to make adjustments to it, so I don't want to screw around with, like, you know, medium, large, whatever. Because we are now saved, this is now saved as the large engine control test. So, excuse me, here we go again. So we're going to replace all this with the large engine now. I'm just going to basically take it all out right from the flywheel forward. Everything's got to go. And then we'll rebuild it for a large engine. The large engine is going to take up more space. It's going to be a bigger system. So we are going to, no doubt, have to repipe, readjust, everything. So we'll take out all our pumps, all our pipes, just to make the adjustment to the larger engine. All right. So now we're going to go up to the large. We want the large crankshaft, which is the 5x5 crankshaft. This is the big sucker. Actually, I do have to take the generator out too. Possibly. Probably. No, I don't, actually. If I get rid of the stands, I don't. Okay, so we're going to have flywheel and clutch back here still. So let's start there. Wait, is that too low? That is too low now. Okay. Undo, 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 undo. All right. Put this back here. And we're going to go with 4, just like we had. You see how much bigger this engine's going to be. Now we need the engine cylinder, which is this guy. We're going to have him, whoops, up on top. Big son of a bitch. And now this guy should be able to put out some serious power. So, should. We're going to put out the 5x5 flywheel on the back, which is a huge son of a bitch. And then the 5x5 clutch right after it. So once again, we're hooked up to the generator. Okay. Now we need to get everything else hooked up, which is, you know, easier said than done. So we'll put this guy on the front here. Okay. And we will put a couple of starters on him. I don't know how many we're going to need. I'm going to start with 2 and we'll go from there. If we need more, we need more. I still need an alternator because I gotta be able to charge the starter battery, which is back here. That's the starter battery, which I can hook up now because that's the only thing that runs off this battery is the starters and the alternator. That's all that runs off that battery. That is it. Because I don't want this battery to end up dead. That is our starting battery. Okay. Now we need air in. So we're going to hook it up like I did last time. I'm going to use, I've got, pull in our air. Okay, from here. We need fuel, which I pull in from over here. Oops. There. We need exhaust. Bump it out over here. It doesn't have to be a long pipe. And we'll need coolant. we'll need a coolant system. I think the coolant system I had last time kind of sucked, so I'm going to set up a different one this time. We'll do it like that. And we'll set it up over here. Set up the cooling system kind of here-ish. All right, so there we go. We have all of our connectors to our engine. Now we just need to connect them all. So, I'm going to start with valves. I need a valve for my air system. Okay, and then on the other end of that, we just put our gas. So only gas can go through there. It's kind of like a filter. And then we want to put on our air filter. So we kind of have a double air filter there. We're on this side, we want to hook up our fuel, but we need to build a fuel system. So that is done with we have a filter, which is our liquid relief valve. Hook up a liquid relief valve to there, so only liquid can go in. And we want a T. Want a T pipe. This is going to make sure we don't get an airlock. So now we want another filter. We want a filter for our gas. Let's put a down pipe here so it's nice and clean. We want a flow directional flow valve. So only can come out. And then we want an end cap. End. Then we want our fluid port end. So this way, if we get any air in the system, any at all, which can happen, especially when you got a custom fuel tank, you want that air to be able to bleed off before it goes into the engine. So by setting this up here, there's no way that we can have a dead zone, because the fuel will go through here, the air will go through here, and no air can come back in, no fuel can go out this way, and no fuel can come back. So everything is sealed here. It's a sealed system. Only fuel can go to the engine, only air can go out. And I also have a vent up here. This just lets air in and out of the tank. That's kind of like your evap, sort of, if you're aware of that. It's like your vent for your gas tank in your car. So, with that all hooked up, we have our air system all hooked, or our fuel system all hooked up. We have our exhaust system all hooked up. We have our air system all hooked up. Oh, I forgot one thing in this system though. I need the fuel valve. I have to be able to turn the fuel off to starve the engine and kill it. So there's our valve to turn the fuel off. So now all we need is our coolant. And I like to do coolant in two different colors, because I want a hot side and a cold side. This is going to be our cold side. We'll put a pump on it. Pump coming in, pump going out. Let's move it out one more. Pump going out. And I already colored that wrong. So this is our hot end. That's our hot end. So we have the fluid going in cold, we have the fluid coming out hot. So now we want it, well, relatively cold. It's not going to be super cold. I'll tell you that much right now. So we want to send this to a radiator system for cooling. Now our radiator system, a good radiator system, is going to have a few radiators. It's not just going to be the one. So I'm going to raise the platform up here. This. And we'll make a couple radiators over here. Oh, for crying out loud, just flip right. Okay. So we'll put a few radiators here. These are going to be in series. Call it in series. Because what happens is the cold water, or the hot water, is going to go in the one, get cooled a little bit, and it's going to go get cooled a little bit more, get cooled a little bit more, and then back to the engine. So that's how that works. I need to take this out of here and put a tank there, just so I know we have water in the system. So we'll put that there. Make sure this is fresh water. We want fresh water for our coolant. And then here, we're going to have cold water on that side. This will kind of be lukewarm water-ish in the middle. And then our hot water is going to be coming in here. That'll come back to our hot water line here. Come on, camera. Don't do me dirty. Okay, so now we have our cooling system hooked up. So, for all intents and purposes, we got everything hooked up we need to hook up. We got fuel, we got coolant, we got air, we got exhaust. And on the back, we got our generator. So, that's basically it. That's the whole shebang. So let's hook up our electric, which is going to be a big do. We need these guys powered. We need pumps powered. We need the vents powered, or the valves powered. Okay. Everything else should already be hooked up, I believe. Okay. So now we need to do our data collection, or data connection, I should say. So the first thing I want to do is go with our composite here, because this reads the heat of the engine. This reads how hot the engine is. I'm going to read from the one that we actually have the fluid going through. So that reads the heat of the engine off the composite line. And then over here, we have all of our other stuff. So we have the flywheels, revolutions per second. We have the engine's revolutions per second. We have the battery reading. We have the requested generator revolutions per second. We have the clutch control. We have the fuel throttle. We have the air throttle. We have the starter connection, which we have two starters, so we got to hook up two starters. Okay, we have the coolant pumps, there and there, and we have the coolant fans, there, there, and there. Okay, so now, what are we missing? We're missing valves. Where's our valves? Our fuel on-off valve, there, and our air on-off valve, there. Okay, now everything's hooked up. So now we have the engine completely hooked up, just like we just had with the medium engine. And whether or not it'll run is anybody's guess. Oh, I gotta hook up the clutch to there too. Clutch has two, clutch goes to there and there. Okay, there's two clutches. So whether this is gonna work or not is anybody's guess. Because I'm using the exact same settings as the medium engine, but I'm using it on the large engine. So here we go. We're about to find out. So you can see these propellers starting up. That's what's using the power. There's always a saving lag there. You can see our power usage is going down. So once the power gets down, the engine should kick. trying. It's trying. It's trying. I might need more starters. It's definitely trying. I might need more starters. Two might not be enough. I think it's got to get to 3 RPS. I don't think 2 is going to be enough. 2 is definitely not going to be enough. Okay, let's up it to 4 starters. Whoop. I mean, we got the look at all the room we have on this thing for accessories and whatnot on the front. We have a shit ton of belt space up here, so I'm not really worried about having to throw a couple more starters on it. So starter controllers, we'll hook those up there and there. And because those starters are running off their own battery, it's not a big deal because they're running off of a separate battery, which is getting a separate charge. It's completely isolated from the other power system. So this battery here, the level on this battery here has absolutely zero effect on the starter ability or starter power. So let's save that. We'll try that. We'll see how this works. I always have saving lag. You can see it up in the left corner where it says saving game. As soon as that goes away, the lag stops. Always saving lag. So we're dropping fast there. Let's get this. This got to go up. Okay, she's climbing. You can hear it. You hear her going faster. Gonna hit 3. There it goes. Alright, so she is started. She is running like a frickin' champ. The clutch is slowly engaging. Generator power is slowly coming up. That is wow. Generator power is coming up. The 12, 13, 14. The other one maxed out at 18. So we are already past that. We are generating, holy shit, we're at 3,000. 4,000. 5,000. 6,700. We haven't even slowed this engine down. Let's bring her down to 50 RPS. Let's see if the clutch will... Oh, battery's full. I should say battery's charged. Battery's charged, engine's gone to full clutch, and she's coming down. That's crazy. That did not even bog down. Not one bit. Did not bog down at all. And we were up around, what, 5,000? Generating 5,000, something like that? I think I could run a second generator on here. I think I could run twin generators. Let's try this. I have to erase this battery because it's in the way. I will put it over here. Whoops. Oh, for crying out loud, turn. There. So I'll put that battery there, and we'll hook it back up to all of our starters and whatnot. That should be the only connections we need for that battery. Now, let's try twin generators. We're going to try twin generators. So I'm going to take this generator here. We're going to bring this generator resize. To grab the generator. I also want that. The whole shebang. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go move cut. Bring it over. Actually, I should have just copied it because I got a fuel line on the other side. Dang it. Well, we'll paste that there for a second, and then we'll get rid of the fuel line. We're gonna have to move this fuel line back to here. Paste. Okay. Merge these guys up. I will put this corner in here. Yellow. Oh, I got my fingers on the wrong spot in the keyboard. Okay. And there and there. Okay. So now we have two generators. I'm going to hook them up off a T. This is, I'm going to lose some RPS here because you always lose a little bit off of T's and elbows, that kind of stuff. If it's not a straight shot, you lose a bit of RPS. And the more piping you have, the more RPS you lose too. So I'm trying to stick with minimum pipes here, minimum length, minimum spacing. Let's see what this does. Because this is gonna, I'm gonna basically be outputting double the power here. If the engine stays, not bogged down. And I'm going to make a small adjustment here to this because I don't want it shutting off at 80% anymore. Let's take her up to 90%. When the battery is at 90%, that's when we're going to shut her down. Okay, so we will update. Yes. And save. Okay, and spawn. And then I have to wait for the saving lag to go away. Come on, lag. Get off. In a second, it should be kicking in. There we go. Okay, so it's just kicking. Starting up. Clutch. And when she should, it's 3 RPS, she'll just take off. There she goes. Way up to 60. And our clutch pressure starts applying. Our generator starts spinning. We got 2 of them now, so we're taking this number multiplied by 2. Whatever this output number gets to, multiplied by 2. I don't even think we'll get up there. I think it's gonna have the battery charge before we get up there. Because the clutch pressure I have set to max out at 0.25. So we'll see what happens here. $1,800 is what we were getting out of the medium generator, or the medium engine. We're already like double that. Okay, we're maxing out at 0.25, and we are generating 4,000 on this engine, or 4,000 on both. 4 on this one, 4 on that one. I could even push that clutch further, because our engine still has not bogged down. How fast is this going up? Look at it go. Look at our charge level go. And that's while we're running 3 Asimovs. We're running three medium electric motors. Okay, so it shuts down. Clutch goes full engagement. everything shuts down, everything comes to a rapid stop, because we're running 2 motors, of course, so she's going to come to a rapid stop. The RPS is going to drop like crazy. Look at that. That is insane. Okay, let's see how far we can push this clutch. Let's see how far we can push this clutch. Let's see, first of all, let's see if we can make it engage faster. Let's see if we can make the clutch engagement faster. That is right here. So right now it's at 0.01. Let's try 0.05. 0.0005. See if that makes a huge difference or not. Small engine, it would bog it down. That would definitely bog down the small engine. Oh, actually, I should change the max engagement too while I'm here. Whoops. Let's go to a max engagement of 0.30. Let's see what happens there. Save. Large generator controller. Update. Here we go. Excuse me. Save. Large generator. Let's see what our numbers are now. Actually, speaking of numbers, let's get a display monitor here. We're going to put that right there. We're going to need an adder. Slender two-digit adder. I like my slenders. I like making my slenders. Got battery power from there. I don't care about a backlight. But you know what? Might as well put a backlight on it. I have always on over there. So do that. Okay, so we're going to take the generator output from this. We're going to take the generator output from this. We're going to add them together, and we're going to put them on this display right here, which is going to need more decimal points. So we will just disable decimals, and that'll show us our power output. Actually, let's go to... I don't think we're going to get... I don't think we're going to get to 10,000. We'll see. Okay. So we'll save this. And then we will... Actually, this thing I should already start at 60. So I don't have to keep running out and whatever. Let's see what happens. Oh, I hate the save game lag. It is so raw. It's so annoying. Okay, engine's gonna kick in here any second now. So within seconds of it starting, we're already generating over 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. What the fucking hell? Oh, I see. Because the clutch engagement is so much faster. We are generating 9,700. Look at that sucker climb. And that's with 3 medium engines running. And we haven't even bogged it down. And it shuts down at 90. Shuts down at 90% charge. You can see the power generator drop. It doesn't drop right away either. It drops pretty slowly as well. But I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And then these guys, they don't stop. These guys don't stop. They keep on going. They don't stop during the whole test. This is going to take forever to get down there. Look at that. Look at how slow it's going. Now, mind you, I'm not in water. I have to transfer this over now to a boat design, which is my next step. But I think this is a hell of a generator. I don't know how it's going to translate to a boat design. It's going to have to be a big boat, obviously. So, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, it really, the engine doesn't run for that long. It didn't even heat up. It's only at 49 Celsius. The other, the medium engine was getting up to 80 something. No, yeah, the other one was getting up to 100 something before it shut down. This one doesn't even get up hot enough for the cooling to kick in. So I think I'm going to keep this generator controller. I'm going to rebuild this engine inside with the two generators. I'll rebuild this inside of a ship of some kind of boat, and I will have my first. It'll be my first diesel electric boat. Hell, I can even make a train out of it, really. But I think I'll do with the boat idea. Big diesel electric boat. So there you go. So thanks everybody for watching. I know we didn't really get out and do anything, but we kind of looked at some interesting stuff here, and getting the controllers working, getting them all tuned up. So that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to probably have a bigger battery bank on whatever boat I build. I'll probably have like 2 or 3 batteries. So the motor will probably run a little bit longer, and it might take a little longer for the battery to drain. But it's the same concept, you know. It'll keep monitoring the batteries and, you know, keep putting power into the system to keep running. And then eventually, you know, you'll run out of fuel. Well, I have a use for fuel now because I'm going to need to stock fuel. But yeah, so this is great. So take care, everybody. This is Jodian signing off. I will see you next time. Catch you later, sayonara.
Bye.